Hey there, literary citizens! So after a few weeks of total chaos and missed vlogs, I am back and ready to start sharing my book-related thoughts with you again. Forgive me if this video gets a little philosophical, but there's a quote from John Green's novel Paper Towns that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it goes, "It is easy to forget how full the world is of people, full to bursting, and each of them imaginable and consistently unimagined." Now, in the context of the book, this observation is meant to address the trope of the manic pixie dream girl and other such romanticized personality ideals that we place on the people we admire. While Paper Towns is more focused on subverting this trope in the boy-girl romantic relationship, the underlying lesson on imagining people complexly can be applied in a broader sense to other types of relationships as well. There's another similar line from Paper Towns that goes, "What a treacherous thing it is to believe that a person is more than a person." And I've seen a fair amount of discussion on this topic recently, mainly as it relates to acknowledging the flaws and humanity of your idols and the people you look up to professionally, but I think it's just as applicable, if not more so, to the people you know personally. For better or worse, people are complicated, and it's easy to forget that when the only person you truly experience is yourself. And I get it. It's a difficult task to imagine that every single person you meet also has their own thoughts and ideas and feelings and dreams and worries and interactions that are happening every second of every day, and anything you could possibly learn about someone is only a fraction of their truth. Imagining all that possibility takes a lot of processing power, and it becomes easier for your brain to just think of people as characters who happen to be playing a part in your story. We all do this, but I think it's especially dangerous for writers and readers and people who spend a lot of time in fictional worlds. Characters are what we know. Characters make sense. Characters have motives and driving traits, and they always have something that they want. Real people aren't like that. People are too complex to be good characters, and in fact, trying to make your characters too much like real people often makes them inconsistent and confusing, which is generally seen as bad writing. Of course, there are well-written, multidimensional characters in many books and movies, but simply by virtue of existing in a finite amount of time and space, even the most complex character can only portray a tiny portion of the real human experience. You can never truly and entirely capture a living person in words. And this is something that I've really been struggling a lot with lately as I try to find ways to write about things that are happening in my personal life. There are people who I've loved and people who I've hated, especially among my close family and friends, who I've only seen as characters throughout my whole life, who I have consistently unimagined. And that was fine when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I feel like I really need to start imagining everyone around me complexly. And I hope that someday I'll be able to see the people that I write about as more than just the heroes and villains of my life story. Putting people into words is fine, as long as you remember that while the words may be true, the people behind them are so much more than characters. What are your thoughts on writing and imagining people complexly? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you've been missing Late Night Lit, you should check out the first episode of our newest podcast, Late Night Love Affair, hosted by the fabulous Candace and Sarah, which was released on Thursday. Also, if you're going to be at AWP in Seattle this week, make sure to come say hi to us at the Late Night Library booth. I will see you again on Wednesday, but until then, stay literary. And each of them imaginable and completely unimagined. Consistently unimagined. Oh my gosh, I totally know this quote. The ideals that we put on the characters, on people we admire. It's a difficult task to imagine that every single this observation is meant to address the but I think it's just as applicable.